Too much now. Nobody went in it's a lie. Not true soldier. If I tell you say you are not soldier, you go drag up. The only thing unless you go down. Because in Nigeria, I won't tell you that you be normal. Both you and I don't gonna lie. Okay, how can you leave barracks and then you're gonna lie? $1 million.
You say 4. I said before.
Say 4.
How many you say? Not before.
So now the bastards when they take, it mean like all this killing. When they killing Plateau or Benue, when they tell you 14, now 14. So now this paper where they carry, now be original paper, now be truth.
Good morning. You're welcome to this wonderful edition of Bystanders at the Newsstand. I'm Christian Chico. We are right here in Ogba to get people talking on the topical issues we have in Nigeria today. I am currently here in Ogba. You can see there's so much discussions that are going on at the bus stop this morning. Yes, so many issues, so many things happening in Nigeria today that people, that Nigerians are mostly concerned about. What is the top discussion this morning is about soldiers that are aiding the bandits as revealed by the House of Reps, especially the Deputy Speaker. Soldiers that are aiding bandits. You can see it at the front page of the Punch newspaper. Soldiers aiding bandits. Today is the 14th of April 2022. I want to say Ramadan, happy Ramadan to those our Muslim brothers, and also happy Easter to those our Christian brothers also. Let's take a look at the papers. I have with me the Nigerian Tribune. I also have the Punch newspaper. I have the Tribune, the Punch this morning. The main headline on the Punch: security agents aiding bandits alleged reps demand NSA minister sacking. NSA minister sacking. Soldier posted to Zamfara gave uniform to bandits in Plateau. That is from the Deputy Speaker. Soldier posted to Zamfara for gave uniform to bandits in Plateau. That is from the Deputy Speaker. Gunmen kill 150 in Plateau villages, 30 in Ebonyi. Anambra police station attacks. Presidency replies Northern elders rules out Buhari's resignation. Presidency replies Northern elders rules out Buhari's resignation, blames past government. Army arrests 12 impostors, one against use of military belts and t-shirts. Army arrests 12 impostors, one against use of military belts and t-shirts. 2 Ikoyi high-rise buildings fail integrity tests. Rigs collapse. 2 Ikoyi high-rise buildings fail integrity tests. Rigs collapse. I have a party man with me. Church at on. Okay, let's go straight to the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Reps angry, call out Buhari. NSA security agencies. Reps are angry, calling out the President Buhari, and also NSA National Security Advisor Monguno and security agencies. Gunmen attack Anambra police station, kill 4 policemen. 4 female students abducted as bandits attack College of Health Science in Zamfara State. Attacks makes us feel there is no government, says Northern Christian Elders Forum. Attacks makes us feel like there is no government, say Northern Christian Elders Forum. Persistent attacks on Plateau, Benue, Niger. Kaduna plot to destabilize Middle Belt, MBF. Bandits, Boko Haram terrorists now working together. Bandits, Boko Haram, and terrorists now working together. Let's have our property man. Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, the viewers, and good morning, the great Sketo, for what's the dinner. I mean, the host as you hosted on yesterday, Sketo. So there's a very great guy. It's not people like what's it called today or Okafor. No, the Okafor. No, he has his own. But that guy is a fanatic. Yeah, you know. I will say that. He's a fanatic.
I'm a fanatic.
You know, he's a fanatic. He's a tribal fanatic, right? So
let's go.
Tell him and stay clear of me, please. Okafor, what's it called? Tunde Okafor. I don't even think it's a Yoruba man. Yeah, okay, I'm listening. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, the good people. I need to greet.
High-rise buildings fail integrity test.
Definitely.
Risks collapse.
Definitely. They said it before the advent of that collapse gate, before the building came down. Yeah, before it came down totally. The Alausa people have gone there. That this, not even Alausa, the structural engineer that this guy employed, has gone to tell him, he went to tell him that this, building lack integrity, test. So it cannot go beyond the 5th story or 6th story. So, but the guy ignored him, and the structural engineer withdrew his service, But I'm not, the complicity now lies on the Lagos State government, the department that is under Lagos State monitoring unit, monitoring unit of the building monitor, the department. They are the one that are culpable of all these atrocities. And I've been saying it, when the issues happened, I said that the GM or the one in charge should be fired or should be suspended. But thank God they fired him. They listened to the voice of masses.
No, he has been reinstated.
He has been reinstated. Yeah. I think the Lagos State should sack that guy, totally, except Mr. Atonwolu want to give himself a bad name.
What's the problem that these buildings are not?
Is the shortcut majority of this builder applies in building. The case of Ikoyi, a gate, may Nigerian case not be like case of Ikoyi gate, because there is no integrity test on the foundation on Nigeria.
You're bringing it to Nigeria.
I'm bringing it to Nigeria as a whole. What is happening in the whole country as a whole is the reflection we are seeing in some pockets of crisis we are seeing. So, to me, once there's no solid foundation, you cannot carry an heavy load on a light foundation. It will definitely come down.
Yeah.
The Nigerian system now, the load on the so-called country is too heavy.
Despite the foundation that is not there.
Despite the foundation. So it's cracking already. Why it's cracking now is we are not one. Except somebody is just deceiving himself anywhere he is. We are not one as we are now. Nigerians are not one. We are divided, and we have never been divided like this. So we need to tell ourselves the truth. The foundation is.
What of those people that are thinking that we can be one?
Those that are living in fallacy. They are living in fallacy. Those ones are living in fallacy, and I want to tell anybody that is telling you Nigeria is one, because that person must be making from the treasury of Nigeria, must be making from the treasury, must be benefiting from the treasury of Nigeria, must be bear all these looters that are making our money, they are making us dry. For you to say Nigeria is one, they are gaining one thing from it.
Even around this place, you can see that people are not even, whether you are Yoruba, outside Igbo, there is this nepotism.
Yes, nepotism. Even among the viewers, there are nepotism among them. There are nepotism. There is nepotism among them, as they are among even the viewers around us here. So
these politicians, they are together.
They are. Together. I keep telling them, that's the message I always preach. These people, when they sit down, they want to share their national cake. They want to share their allocation. They want to share themselves. Committee, what's it called? Chairmanship of committee, or officials of the committees, officers of the committees. They don't even look at, you are from Igbo, you are from Yoruba, you are from Hausa. They do everything, happily, as one. They bond themselves together as one to steal from us, to loot us. But you come here, some ragtag people will start saying, applying, fanatism inside.
Bandits and Boko Haram terrorists now working together. That's from the federal government.
We've known that before. They are partners. We've known that they are business partner. Bandit, Boko Haram, they are business partner, and the government should know that. They should know that. They should know that. And the military, Nigerian military said, which is like a third party I'm looking at in this affair. Yeah, there are a lot of inflation. Can't you see this morning?
Okay.
The number of the military. Where did they get? Where did they get this uniform? Where did they get? That is why the great man in charge of the defense, which is a erudite military officer. I'm talking of Irabo, General Irabo, which is a sound person. He's been on the battlefield, even right from the one that died, not that Yara, former chief of army staff that died. He's been in the battle. He's been commanding troops to Sambisa, to Bonu, so I give it to General Irabo, but it's men under him. You should check on them because they are doing what? They are aiding and abetting.
Somebody gave the bandits a uniform.
Yes, where did they get the uniform? That's why I'm emphasizing on General Irabo. He's the chief of defense staff. The chief of army staff is under him. Chief of naval staff is under him. He should be able to be in control and see what is going on under him. The only person is answerable to is Buhari, Mr. Buhari, who is the commander-in-chief of army staff. And Mr. Irabo, General Irabo is the chief of defense staff. So he needs to walk the talk with his people, start from his own people. That's the military section. Who are the betrayers among them? Who are the people selling their information out? Because the way I say, that's why you see the prolongment of all these banditry, Boko Haram. Some people are sabotaging the efforts. They are sabotaging the effort of this, hardworking men. Like, what's it called? Lucky Irabo. General Irabo.
Okay, let's look at the North. The North has replied, the Northern Elders said Buhari should resign. So the presidency replied the North, saying, don't destroy Nigeria in your desperation for power. Presidency replies Northern Elders.
I've said when North say Buhari should resign, Northern Elder should go to their constituency. I think they came from how many states of the Northern extradition? They came from how many? Like 6 or 5, 7 states. They should go to each one of them, should go to their, constituency and preach, spread the message of impeachment. Because you can't tell someone to resign. It's not possible.
He said the presidency are ruling out resignation.
They are out of what?
Presidency rules out Buhari's resignation. Blames past government.
Hey, past government, you keep blaming past government. You see, the case of APC now is somebody that his father sent to school, or his father did not send to school, but he managed to, educate himself, and he's still not blaming, or he did not do anything. Sorry, he did not even try to educate himself. Your father did not send you to school, but you don't manage to educate yourself, and you keep spreading the news all around town. That is because my father did not send me to school. That's why I am. That's why I stay like this. I'm still like this. I'm still like that. The case of APC, I think that party, you will see the end of the party. The end of the party is coming in 2023. The way they form themselves, the way they emergency, they through propaganda that they came into government. The propaganda will be the division among them. Towards the end, you see there will be propagandas, there will be calamity in that party that will scatter the party, because the party itself was not formed on a strong foundation. They just bed of same feather. They just pack themselves together for one purpose, to seize power. But we thought we've seen Messiah.
That is
Buhari. Because they are talking of 1983, 84. We knew that Idiagbon was the one doing the job, and they must have learned from Idiagbon, because Idiagbon did a perfect job. No matter, take it or leave it. Me, I was matured enough to witness all what happened there. Who they faced when they seized power, they first of all faced all this money mongrel that stole our wealth, common wealth. All of them ran away. People like Maru Diko, people like a lot of them, they went on exile. because we believe a new sheriff came on board then. But we never knew the sheriff we saw yesterday wasn't the same sheriff we are seeing today. A lot of water has passed through, the tunnel. So what me I believe now is APC, the end of APC is coming in 2023 because they are divided already. They are divided, and there's God at work. PDP is not well, APC is not well. At the same time, two of them are having crisis. You could see the PDP too on the zoning issue. You could see it, and they're saying they don't want respect zoning any longer. That zoning should be abandoned instead of even thinking of consideration of the people that need to come on board from that zone now and from that axis. Who are the people and who the cap fits on that under PDP? I'm saying it for my own. I'm not saying it to entice anybody. PDP needs to compensate Igbo because the Igbos, I'm talking of the civilized Igbos, not the abusive ones, right? No, they need to compensate them because they spend a lot, they invested a lot, human capital, monetary level in that PDP. So when it's time for them to pay them back, they are talking trash. APC, people have no stake in APC because during the formation, they came in as a minority. That is what is playing out now. They cannot give Okorocha as minority. What was his party number? He came in with that. Then how many were they? How many people did they bring on board? Ask him. He's live. How many people did they bring on board? You could see that Okorocha was the only one man standing in APC there, and Ngige. And Ngige too had pockets of followers. Then the real party in Eastern states is PDP. They've been PDP right from Emeka, what's it called? Ekweme, Chief Dr. Alex Ekweme was one of the founding members of PDP, right? So the Aboriginal party of the East is PDP. This is the right time the PDP has to compensate them for the loyalty they've given to PDP. That is why you see this country is just full of scam. It's full of scam.
Power grid collapse. Federal government approves 1.4 billion naira for power transmission projects.
You see, who are these people that bought Gen School, that bought this school? Who are they? If they can refund their money, or they can even get them arrested. Arrested. Because these people are just shortchanging us. They bought Gen School, they could not give us light. They bought this school, they could not give us light. And we are praying for darkness every day. And one leader is in Abuja there, that is enjoying free lights. One leader is in governor's house there, enjoying free lights. And we've got nothing, but we create income for ourselves. We are still using that part of the income to pay for blackouts. Is that fair? Is that fair? You say you don't want terrorists in the country, and you are pushing people towards terrorism. You are pushing, you see, an angry man is an angry man. And an angry man can go to any extent. Any extent. So I don't know whether this government has good advisor and the Buhari followers, whether they are telling him the truth, whether it's just their pocket they've been looking at since all these days. They need to know that you can do something for long. You can do something for a while. You can't do it for long. And it's only change that is constant. These people don't think of change. The change that brought them into government, they never think of it. It's just their own is scam change. The real change they preached, but they are scamming the change. The scam change they are giving us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kule, for that one. I have Mr. Matthew. Somebody is asking a vital question, Mr. Matthew. His name is Mr. Matthew Genose.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Christian.
Okay. I was saying the grid collapse. Federal government approves 1.4 billion naira for power transmission projects. Somebody is asking a question. Has power returned or has the grid been repaired?
To be quite honest with you, this is not the first time we are hearing about grid collapse. And this may not be the end of the grid collapsing, because it may not be the end, because if you are not improving on the network, you are going to experience the same problem. Because the reason you are seeing grid collapsing is because of bad nature or the state of the network. So if you don't address it, you are still going to see it collapsing. But again, I think I have to go beyond that, because if you look at the whole issue of power sector, you discover that the government will tell you that it has been deregulated. And the whole value chain of power generation is in three phases: generation, distribution, and transmission. Distribution and generation have been totally deregulated. Transmission is in the hand of federal government. TCN, which is transmission company of Nigeria, is in the hands of federal government. So when you are having challenge with transmission, it means federal government is failing in their responsibility, because that area has not been deregulated. Then again, I think federal government, even the failure of distribution and generation, federal government have a bigger blame, especially in the area of distribution. This is not far-fetched, because when you sign agreement with discos, there is understanding that they are going to improve on their capacity to distribute over time. They are going to invest a given amount of money in their areas of jurisdiction over time. And if you don't invest that amount of money, you will lack the capacity to distribute. For instance, we hear discos refusing to accept load from national grid, because when you receive load in terms of megawatts, you don't have a place to store it. As you receive, you give it out. So if you don't have enough capacity to distribute, you only accept what you can distribute. And you need to improve on your network in terms of transformer, in terms of the network, to be able to absorb, in terms of step down and all that, to be able to absorb all the megawatts that is coming to you from the national grid.
Yeah.
So when a disco, for instance, maybe Ikeja disco, for instance, not 14, I'm just making an instance, refuses to improve on their distribution capacity, and you have National Electricity Regulatory Commission, which is a government regulatory agency, that needed to ensure that they do the needful, and you are not seeing sanction on their part. So you see that the blessing go back to the federal government. That is why when there is lack of power, when we are not able to attain sustainable power supply, we don't bother to look at whether it's coming from Disco, Genco, or transmission. Federal government is responsible, because they are the one that regulates the conduct of all the components, all the units of the whole value chain. And look at the issue when they are talking about that we need to pay cost reflective tariff, that you need to pay what you consume, because we were made to understand that government was subsidizing power. But currently, the Minister of Finance made us understand that incrementally that they have succeeded in deregulating power sector completely. So by implication, if you are using prepaid, you are paying what you consume. And if you look at areas where they are giving people estimated billing, if I listened to a discussion on channels with Professor Pat Energy, where they were discussing about how all these discos play gimmick. If an area, for instance, they are giving estimated billing, and the Transition Company of Nigeria, TCN, want to give them extra load, they will not accept it. Because if, for instance, in Oba, all the consumers are on estimated billing, whether they give them more light or not, they're expecting the same return on investment every month.
What are the problems we are facing now?
The problem is, one, the discos have not improved on their network to improve on their capacity to distribute. And these are part of the agreement they enter with federal government, that over time they would have invested SY amount to improve on their capacity to distribute. As such, they are not taking all the power that is available for them to take. So, and the federal government on this part, you can see that they are investing money to improve on transmission.
Yeah, 1.4 billion.
They have refused to do that hitherto before now. So both the failure of the GENCO, the DISCO, and the transmission goes back to the federal government, because NEC, that is Electricity Regulatory Agency, is an agency of government.
They should be responsible for what?
Yes.
Okay, let's look at soldiers posted to Zamfara State give uniform to bandits in Plateau State. That's from Deputy Speaker.
I think with the current revelation, Mr. President should resign without further delay. I mean, Muhammadu Buhari, yes, he should resign without further delay. Because I've read about statements credited to Idris Wase, the Deputy Speaker of House of Representatives, where he alleged that a military personnel, a soldier who is supposed to be serving in Zamfara, would receive pass to be moving around for 6 months, and he was found in Plateau State distributing uniform to bandits. And on another occasion, another military personnel was found distributing ammunition to criminals. And according to Wase, that there's no record that that military personnel has been court-martialed. So what is this telling us? It's telling us that the military authority may be culpable in the whole issue of insecurity. No wonder we have not heard much about Wadume, who was arrested some time ago in Taraba State. I mean, the kidnapping pen. And in the process of trying to arrest him, a military captain sent the military personnel to go and rescue him after he was arrested by IG Special Squad. In the process, 3 policemen were killed. As we speak, there is a panel of inquiry that was constituted by the then Chief of Defense Staff under the directive of Mr. President. And the panel indicted the captain and 9 other soldiers. As we speak, there is no record of the captain and the 9 soldiers being subjected to ordinary trial, being court-martialed, or being dismissed to face prosecution. So why will another military personnel not go and start distributing uniform to criminals? Because they have seen that in Nigeria, you can perpetrate crime and go away with it. I look at the government, 7 years in the saddle, still blaming past administration for their failure. Don't forget that before 2015 election, when Tinubu was campaigning for Buhari, he was telling us that in such a situation that we need to talk to a general. Now, a general is in the saddle for 7 years. Look at what you have as security. For me, Mr. President have no excuse to be in that office for beyond what we are having. Mr. President should throw in the trowel to save life. Because whether we like it or not, it behoves on Mr. President to protect life and property. And when he does that, he's not doing anybody any favor. Because the Constitution tells us that the welfare of Nigerians and the security of Nigerians shall be the primary purpose of governance. And Mr. President has abysmally failed in this cardinal area of governance.
Okay. So let's digress a little bit. Somebody is asking a question. What are your fears about vote rigging? Can we have that when we have the Electoral Act?
I think rigging will be minimized. That is the truth. The reason I'm saying it is INEC have shown some level of sincerity to conduct free, fair, and credible election. The major problem we were having before now is the politicians who collude with some evil-minded island personnel, security agents, to undermine the electoral process. But with this electoral act, I tell you that to a great extent, rigging will be minimized. Because what
put that in percentage.
I cannot put it in percentage, because what the law says is that if the electoral process substantially complies with electoral acts, the election is free and fair. The law do not say you must have 100% compliance with the electoral act, but if it substantially complies with it, it is acceptable. What I'm trying to say is, look at that new electoral act. It tells you that from the polling unit, and you know that the highest number of registered voter that is allowed in a polling unit is 500. That is why I could tell you that there is need for unit delineation. Because the law says once a unit exceeds 500, you delineate it to create more units. So if as small as 500 or below 500 from in a unit, as soon as voting ends, the electoral umpire, the INEC staff, who may be an adult staff and maybe core member, we take either picture or whatever means, transmit that result to INEC portal, from where all the election observers, whether local and international, even media like you, even as individuals, have access to the portal to monitor as the result is taken in. Just as personally, I went on the portal to do registration recently. The same way you can go to the portal on election day, you monitor as the result is trickling in. You can have your own situation room as a media organization, as a civil liberty organization, as a non-governmental organization. You monitor the result as it's coming in, just as government have their own situation room. At the end of the day, the result will tally. So that will, to a great extent, checkmate rigging. I 100% agree with that.
Let's go back. Presidency has replied Northern elders, rules out Buhari's resignation, blames past government. He said Buhari should resign.
I say Buhari should resign without further delay. How can you be blaming past government 7 years after staying 7 years in the saddle? Mr. President is a war veteran. That's what they made us to believe. Because he fought the Civil War. He's fought the Civil War. Don't mind Chigos here. What I'm saying is, I'm talking about based on available records that Mr. Buhari, the president, is a war veteran. And like Tinubu made us understand that when we are in such a situation, that we need to turn to a general. Now the general is in the saddle for 7 years. And you are still blaming past leaders. It is on record that this government withdrew $1 billion from SS Crude accounts. All the other chairs of government have been magnanimous enough to allow other government withdraw $1 billion for purpose of fighting insecurity. Out of which $559 million was used to procure that seized Tucano jets. So in terms of funding, and that is the area National Assembly, in particular House of Rep, where was hammering yesterday. In terms of funding, they have not been starved of funds. They have been getting leverage from National Assembly when it comes to funding. So what is their predicament? They have comparative advantage over the bandits, over the terrorists, over the kidnappers, because we have air platform. We can do air interdiction against the bandits, the kidnappers, the terrorists. And the bandits, the terrorists, the kidnappers do not have that advantage. We can leverage on drone. As we speak, there's what they call suicide drone. I think Nigeria can partner with America and they can procure it.
Or can't we produce it ourselves?
I don't think so, because even Ukraine is taking delivery of it from America. But what I'm trying to say is America is a strategic partner of Nigeria in terms of fighting insecurity. So there are so many areas we can leverage on in terms of that strategic partnership to get support. But the issue is, with the revelation we are seeing, it appears that the government is not winning the war because of complicity on the part of the military personnel and the government personnel. Don't forget that before now, we had a situation where a minister was quoted to have prayed to God to give the Taliban and Al-Qaeda victory. And as we speak, the minister is still in the saddle, occupying a strategic position that has to do with data of Nigerians. So who tells you that we may not have other people who share that view, who share that ideology in the same government? And if they share that ideology, who tells you that they will not be working for bandits? They will not be working for terrorists?
How has the reintegrating the Boko Haram terrorists helped the fight against?
I think it should be one of the major mistakes of this government. Word over, you prosecute criminals, you prosecute terrorists, you don't reintegrate them into the society. On what basis? Even God himself, by the standard of God, take a look at when Saul was persecuting Christians, killing Christians. And at a point, God decided to use him when he turned to Paul. But when God caused him to be blind, God sent him to Ananias, that Ananias should lay hand, he will receive his sight. And God showed Ananias in a vision. Somebody coming, laying hand and receiving his sight. Ananias was asking God, this man is killing Christians. He had received order from government to kill more. And you are asking me to lay hand for him to receive sight. His sight. You know what God told him? God said, don't worry, lay hand, let him receive his sight. I will tell him how much he will suffer for the kingdom. That is the consequence for his action. In the same way, if you are forgiving bandits, terrorists, as they are surrounding to Nigerian military authority, there should be consequences for their action, not wearing their robe. Not wearing their robe. Not giving them honor. I think that's where we are getting it wrong. Because by the time you profile them, you after the briefing, profiling, maybe they say radicalization, you needed not to reintegrate them into the society. Because Nigeria do not have accurate database to even monitor and know what they are doing in the regular society. They may be recycling them into banditry, kidnapping, even the Fulani herdsmen activity, the killer Fulani herdsmen activity. Don't forget that the other time we saw a Fulani nationality movement, a group that goes by the name of Fulani nationality movement, that attempted assassination on a sitting governor of Benue State. So who tell you that they are not being recycled? Who tell you that they are not being recycled into other areas of crime? So for me, Mr. President Muhammad Buhari needs to resign without further delay.
Okay, lastly, let's talk about
Mr. Chiko, what's the problem?
Let's talk about this Osinachi issue. Yes. Okay, they say people should be aware of pastors these days.
Why?
The pastor was alleged to have killed the woman.
The pastor?
Yeah.
It depends on how do you identify who is a pastor? Pastor is a title. I think I would have been more comfortable if you say a child of God, a prophet of God, a servant of God, an apostle that is anointed by God. Because you can go by the name of pastor. What you do as an individual, your relationship with God, whether you abstain from sin, determines your status as a human being in the Christendom, in the vineyard of God. For somebody, the Bible says to hate God, that is to hate evil. He said the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. And to hate evil is when you have fear of God. So for somebody to hate evil, that person must be a child of God. And to be a child of God is not just necessary to say you are going by the name of a pastor. It's a function of who are you in the sight of God. What is your relationship with God? In as much as nobody made me a judge over the issue, what I'm trying to say is that a child of God, a servant of God, a prophet of God will abhor sin. And a child of God will not lay hand on his wife and start beating his wife. Yes.
So those that are laying their hands are not children.
They are not children of God. Otherwise, if you are a child of God and you are disobeying God, as at the time you are disobeying God, you are not a child of God. Though you have a window of opportunity to repent and come back to God, and you become a child of God again. Don't forget about the story of the prodigal son, who once went away from the father, later came back and the father accepted him. That is the scenario of father and son when it comes to God. What I'm saying in essence is, if you are a child of God, you cannot lay hand and start beating your wife, because the Bible never gave you such injunction. What the Bible told you is that your wife, you and your wife, it's one flesh. He said after God created Adam, he saw that it's not good that man should be alone. He now caused Adam to fall into this sleep, remove one rib out of his ribs, with which he created Eve. He brought the woman to Adam, and Adam looked at the woman and said, "This is woman, for she was taken away from, she was taken out of me." So the Bible says, for this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Okay. So there's no provision in the Bible for a child of God to start beating his wife.
This morning, thank you very much.
Because there was the problem now.
One this morning.
Because what I did to him.
You are fighting. Hey, Christian, what's happening?
I've not heard the language. I've not heard this language.
No, so this language is a very positive mood.
Positive. You didn't see what happened in Punch?
In Punch. Those soldiers, countries is a positive move of arresting them. They will arrest more of them. More of them are coming. Because you can see, imagine, army uniform. When this type of people enter a village, the village will think that they are on a rescue mission, not knowing they are invaded by the same uniform that is supposed to be protected. Can't you see? It's a development language. And now they must confess that those people that gave them the uniform, how did they get the uniform? And ammunition.
That's what we are telling you. The state is a failed state now. And the presently a very failed state. The nation is on failure.
So what should happen to a failed state?
What will happen to a failed state? You need a dramatically change.
Revolution.
Those security operatives, like the one they call Mongono, what is his name? The advisor, security advisor to the president. He's supposed to go and sit down immediately. Both of them, they are retired. What are they advising on security matter? For how long? How long are you be advising the president on the security matter, and the security matter is getting worse and worse and worse? They should go back and resign immediately. They are giving us big problem.
Soldier posted to Zamfara gave uniform to bandits in Plateau.
Mind you, that's what we are saying. Soldier posted to one unit, now giving uniform to unknown people to go and gun down a community. Why did the government want to do to those soldiers?
Some people are saying that they are the unrepentant Boko Haram.
What is the meaning of unrepentant? Government have done a wrong thing. Repentance now recruit a criminal that is killing your people that you have been looking for, spending your money, our tax money to get them down. Now you not get them, you not revise them to the security organization. What would they expect them to do? They will now have more power. Yes. They will now distribute the ammunition in their possession to the criminals in the forest. And now will not be terrorizing us. It's bad. All of them will be prosecuted.
What have you done? What have you done? Looking at all this, what have you done? What are you going to do?
What I'm going to do? I will change the whole parasystem. All of them, police, army, and navy, all of them. Because all of them are the bird of the same feather. They are eating somewhere. Imagine the allocation, the budget to the defense is getting higher and higher and higher. And they are feeding on it. And they are not doing anything they are supposed to do. That's why I say the security matter is getting worse and worse and worse. So they're supposed to be changed. Don't look anybody face. Bring them down. Imagine when the NSAS matter was around. This same man, their security advisor was there. He was the one advising Buhari. From that time, how many years till now? The security is getting out of hand. You know how much are they collecting? Millions of dollars. Where is the use of that money? It's a vagabond. They are vagabond in power. They are supposed to go home and rest. Their time is up.
No, listen. Tinubu say, I will be courageous as Nigeria's president. Right now,
Tinubu is begging. He's begging. How will you be begging when you know you failed the test? See, Lagos State is supposed to be one of the best states in Nigeria. They are the one of the suffering states because you are yes. Lagos State tax is too much. Tax was last month, police, Kai, different problematic. Because of one person, you're not detected. You are detected from 1999 to today. You're supposed to have rest. You say you are a kingmaker. We all accept that you make king. Now you dramatically to be a king. I've never heard that language before. You say you want to be a king, kingmaker now want to be a king. Who is going to put you as a king? So that language is a disastrous. So it's begging. That begging can never heal the wound. The wound is already there. Tinubu can't heal the wound. He should go home.
Okay.
He should go home.
Okay. Lastly, let's look at.
We should go home.
And last time we said that the northern elders are saying Buhari should resign. But the presidency has replied them saying that presidency replies northern elders rules out Buhari's resignation, blames past governments.
Yes, you know the presidency, they are Buhari. Buhari is the head of the presidency. So anything attacking Buhari is attacking the presidency. So the presidency must come out for anyhow to defend their superior.
They are blaming the past government.
Yes, they are blaming the past government, which is very bad. How long will you be blaming the past government? Every time you say someone should resign, someone should resign. Now it's let's say 6 or 7 months. So what are you resigning for? The deal has been done. The only thing now is for him to, for all of us to wake up at once and make them sure they never came back again in 2023. That is the solution. Because how long have you say resign? Well, if you resign, no, because you have that capacity. See the presidency. They're a group of vampires. They are now on top of Nigeria. They're not sucking on human blood, which is not their appetite.
Are they sucking your blood?
They are sucking majority of our blood.
Your blood.
When they suck on that person's blood, it's my blood because we are all one. We are all one Nigeria. See the Nigeria that are crying just, I'm crying also in my heart because we are human beings. We are one, and somebody will be killing us injustly. It's bad.
The
government should Go home and think about it.
Lastly, what should be done to these soldiers?
These soldiers should be executed. Executed.
No trial.
No trial. They were caught handedly. Executed. Give mercy to others. Look what they did to Plateau. Look what they do to Benue State. Those are the kind of people now. Okay, want to try them. At the end of the day, you not try them. You not say, okay, they are free, they are repent. Give them execution immediately. Kill all of them. That's what they deserve. Physical execution. Because they are more than devil himself. Want to see their faces?
Somebody say not in Nigeria, please.
Not in Nigeria. It will come to pass one day in Nigeria. So all those iniquity will stop. Insecurity will stop. Because whereby you hold those people and you give them confirmed face-to-face execution, the rest will be finding where to hide. Not back there, you not parade there, you not put it on that, but at the end of the day, tomorrow, next tomorrow, the story is gone. They will not be living large a day. Execute those soldiers we are seeing, they have vast sanity. Give them execution. Tell them to give them execution.
Okay, as you tell them, Oluwawan said I should tell you people to give them execution. I think it's not fair that Flip TV should place Oluwawan on monthly salary.
Subscription.
On monthly subscription. You can see the kind of
his network.
The grammar is scattering here and there.
Network.
Okay, it's network. Which one do I subscribe? So I have delivered my message. He said I should tell you for execution of
this.
What?
Execute these soldiers that are aiding bandits, sharing uniform for bandits.
For me, it won't be fair when you it will be considered as a hasty judgment. They are victims of the society, of course, which the government is the architect of what is happening, the architect of the failure. If he said that they should be executed, then what happened to Buhari himself? What happened to the politicians who have not just exchanged their military wares, but have subchanged the entire Nigerian, over 200 million people? They have mortgaged the destiny of even the unborn generation. And they are walking freely on the streets of Lagos, on the streets of Abuja, parading themselves as saints or as kingmakers or whatever you might think of. So the execution should start from within the corridor of power. Those who has held Nigerians to ransom for barely 60 years now, and nothing has been done about that. They are rather being celebrated across the length and breadth of this country. And some of them are still parading themselves, of course, to clinch to power, to continue to hold on to power, telling us that they are strong, that they are that they can stop ESN, they can do that. You see, the military men are not to be blamed because the government, which of course they are serving, rejected them, never cared for them. You see, never encouraged them. You see, that is a clear, of course, expression of their psychological and emotional state. They have lost confidence in Nigeria in providing their basic care and necessities. See, they are more or less hungry and they have children and their family to take care of. So what they needed to do, of course, is to join the unholy train that is headed for destruction.
Would they be working alone? This soldier that is giving uniform to bandits, would they be working alone?
Of course, there should be a conspiracy of silence on the higher hierarchies, which, of course, have not given account on, of course, the billions of naira that has been expended for the purchase or procurement of armories. See, they're still telling us that they don't. The ones they are using is back then, is it during Yar'Adua or Obasanjo time? They are using to combat. What happened to the billions of naira that have been voted for that? So these people, if I'm a lawyer, I will, of course, I will defend this individual because they are victim of cruelty, they are victim of circumstances. You see, when you commit crime just to feed for yourself, I think there's some level of justification. In as much as I don't, of course, abet or support crime, but we must, of course, analyze issues objectively. If the government has not failed, if Nigeria is not a failed system, you wouldn't have these people, of course, in this mess. If there are check and balances, if, of course, those within the corridor of power are held accountable for their misgovernance, misappropriation of public funds, these people would have been victims of this orchestration. It's very unfortunate that they are just partner in crimes. So they should not be isolated in this respect. So everybody who is culpable, including the politicians who always, of course, have not accounted for the security votes. The government of the day, the Buhari also has some security votes to himself. The governors, what have they been able to do with that? So these people are just victim of circumstances. They will be pushed to the war zones, abandoned without being taken care of, without even their allowances being paid. So it's a way of survival. It's very unfortunate that they found themselves within the contortion. Such cannot happen in U.S. Army. Such cannot happen in Cameroon here. Such cannot happen in Canada, in Ghana, in other Western world who pay more priority on their combatant men, on their force men. You see, I have not heard any time American came up and be saying one America, one America. I've not heard the Canadian president or governor, mayor saying one, or Mexico saying one Mexico, one Mexico. You see, it's only in Nigeria you always hear one and one Nigeria. The unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. On what basis? You see, it's a failure of the system. Even the military architecture, the military, all the military drafts, security outfits has failed because the executive, the president, those politicians failed them. And of course, they are being selected by those within the corridor of power. So they are there to do their biddings. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah, the presidency has replied nothing else as rules out Buhari's resignation, blames past governments.
Well, I think that is dead on arrival. What we should be talking about now, it's unfortunate that the northern, whatever you call them, Elders Forum or whatever. Why are you an elder when you saw danger, when you saw disaster looming and you kept mute? Until the entire region were overwhelmed, overrun by such level of damage, you still call yourself elder. My people will say, okay, you see, that kind of elder is a useless elder. They fail to speak out when the occasion demands. And then they are coming to cry for. They should cover their faces in shame. There are such disappointment, not just to the northern hemisphere, to their own generation. Such people should not parade themselves as elders. Because you know how many children who would have been better than them? How many mothers, how many fathers, how many young ones have been destroyed because of this charlatan attitude, because of this complacence on the parts of those useless elders? Who makes them an elder? You call yourself an elder, and you kept mute. You were indifferent about the plight of your people, hiding other pretense until the entire region was engulfed. And today they have been turned to killing fields. Communal societal life have been destroyed. The children are no longer going to school. People are now at the mercy, subjected to at the mercy of banditry, terrorism, being celebrated, and yet they are covering up. So it is useless to call for of course, the resignation of Muhammad Buhari, if they have called him to order as his own people, if they have called him to order, say, oh, you are our brother, but we must tell you the truth. This and this you are doing is not right. Probably we wouldn't have been in this mess. Buhari would have, of course, listened to them to some extent. You see? But they supported him singing his praises even when he's sinking the whole ship abysmally. They were praising him, and now it has gotten out of their hand. They are crying, God punish you. So I will be supporting you that Buhari should resign. Because you failed, you deceived your own brother called Buhari. They deceived him. They refused to tell him the bitter truth. That this is not the way governance should run. This is not the way a society should govern or operate its governance.
Okay.
You kept note until everything has been damaged, and you're crying that.
Okay.
If I were Buhari, I would go after all of them, and I would jail them. Resign on what? That is
Okay.
senseless, useless
Lastly, let's look at the power sector. The federal government, Federal Executive Council approves 1.4 billion naira for power sector.
One important factor in that decides or drives economic whole development, productivity is power. And as it stands now, Nigeria is as good as its power. Yeah? So when you look at the power, whatever they call it, they have changed names several times. I don't know the one they're answering now. From NEPA, from PSN, and maybe now they will be answering APC. You see? And it's very unfortunate. So the better thing, Christian, is that I will advise that let them dispose Nigeria. And I know that probably nothing may come to me, but let them divide Nigeria so that we know that they have sold Nigeria. And if whatever is left, they should use it to pay Chinese people. So that if I'm ready, already our run. We have become a run. So already. So they can still do us good, a lot of good, when they sell Nigeria and pay, of course, the Chinese, so that everybody can return to his home. That is the only way. All this power issue shouldn't come up at this time. We have gas in excess. The flaring of gas, most of which have not been tapped, is there wasting. So what is the problem of power? I think Ozie can fix the issue of power. It's not a rocket science. So the problem is that those, of course, within the corridor of power, even down to the, of course, that's why Bola Ige was killed when he was made the Minister of Power. Because those within the corridor of power, the interest brokers, power brokers, will not allow anything to strive, will not allow any normalcy, will not allow anything that will better the lot of the people, because they are gross beneficiaries of that. They own merchants, generator companies, importation license and all that. So they will keep on frustrating that. If it means killing everyone that stands their way, to ensure that they frustrate every effort. So I wouldn't at this time submit that there is any hope. Billions of dollars have been expended on this power, and yet last time Mr. Matthew said Nigeria is generating below 1,000. No, he said 5 megawatts or what? Nigeria is not even generating 1 megawatt. You see? Because there is no consistency. When you can't have 2 hours power supply in the entire nation. So what is it for? Let alone to talk of 12 hours, 24 hours. We have never celebrated 12 hours power supply in the entire Nigeria. It has never been done. So what are you talking about? So it's needless whatever they are
Okay. One more question.
voting in that respect. It's just a waste of resources.
Tinubu, Nigeria needs me even as I need Nigeria. That's from Tinubu.
Yes, sir, I wouldn't blame him. So he once said that he never believed in Nigerian projects. And he has started the milk and the honey of governance, or of taking it all, of tyranny. And now he said Nigeria needed him. Yes, Nigeria needed him because Nigerians' problem need to be extended. Nigeria are born to be suffering and smiling. Nigeria are born to be slaves in their own fatherland, in their own country. They, of course, will remain fugitive, and they are unfortunate. So that's why some people will be clamoring for the likes of the Jagaban, the kingmaker, who will continue to deceive himself and the people. It was the reason why, of course, Nigerians were plunged into this mess, and yet have never tendered an apology to the Nigerian people. Even in his age, what happens to me? If Nigeria is a viable country, if there is future in Nigeria with this current dispensation, my life would have declared to run for the presidency, but it will be an insult. So everybody clamoring for presidency, as far as this current dispensation configuration is concerned, I bet you, you might be P2B is shouting. You see, 8 years we go, they will tell you that they needed more time because more damage has been done. The best thing for Nigeria is to split every region. I know you may not like what I'm saying, but that is a reality. Split this country. Let everybody control each region, and that's law that will adapt and that will be convenient for the region based on their political, social, and cultural affiliations, so that there can be, understanding, and we can move forward. Every region can control its resources and move at their own space. You see, we can still maintain our bilateral relationship, diplomatic treaties, and whatever.
Okay.
But let do the work go its own way. I don't know whether they have met up with the, is it 5 million or 500 petition for the likes of Kunle may have not signed that. I'll keep on persuading him to do the needful. You see, it's not just making noise, let Nigeria divide. Whatever that can save humanity, I am committed to that fact, to that reality. Nigeria, in the next 100 years, with this configuration, will continue to share the same story, continue to shout, and nothing happens. So, of course, posterity will vindicate us that we spoke out when the occasion demands.
Okay, thank you.
Let the northern people go back and see how to, of course, reconstruct their own region and chart a better way for the cause for the people.
Okay.
Because as it stands now, much damage has been done to the north, and it may take not less than half a century to begin to see light in the midst of this gross darkness that have mercy, of course, covered the entire sphere. But here comes the referendum. Referendum or nothing else. Referendum is not a declaration of war, but it's the fundamental right of every human being or group of people.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Referendum.
I have Mr. Rab. Good morning, Mr. Rab.
Hey, my brother, you spoke well anyway. I thank God Almighty. There's something that made me laugh. Early in the morning, I met a guy from Kafanchan. The guy is from Kaduna State. So the guy said they have leveled many cases against Nnamdi Kanu, but they are not even mentioned that point that Nnamdi Kanu made in the past. What am I trying to say? That Buhari is dead. That is not Buhari. And that is the core argument. I'm telling you, the guy is from Kaduna. He said the whole North, they are listening so that they will come up with that allegation that Nnamdi said Buhari is not Buhari. He said they don't go that side, near that point. He said, had he been Yaradua was treated in the Great Britain, they would have do what? Brought another face and paste on his face. We will see another Yaradua. He said, but they made mistake by what? Taking Yaradua to Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia for treatment.
Okay.
So he said Saudi cannot do that because they are neat country. He said Britain is a 419 country. That's why they took Buhari to Britain. It is paining Britain because Yaradua died. Somebody from North will die again, meaning they are not going to make their money anymore. So that's why they operated on this Buhari, or they even sought for a look-alike. Somebody that is absolutely looked alike, like Buhari. No, let me tell you, it is possible. Let me tell you now. I have a question for you. Don't you read further online that you have 8 Vladimir Putin? 8. Yes, they look alike. You can't target Putin now. If you send killers to kill Putin now, you will make mistake. See Putin, see Putin, see Putin. That is science. That is science and technology. Now I'm talking to everybody. Pretend you are listening. I think it is a fact that Putin look-alike is almost 7 in number. Putin. Go. If you are a sniper, go and kill. You will kill the wrong Putin. So when we are lamenting, when we are beating the drum that Buhari died long time ago in 2017 is a fact. Some people say it's an allegation, but it is not. I come out with fact that face-off is possible. Surgical operation on the face, facial surgical operation is a fact.
Let's look at today's.
I watch a film.
Let's look at today's.
By Chuck Norris. No, not Chuck Norris. John Travolta.
You can take the federal government.
John Travolta and Nicolas Cage.
You can take the federal
Face off. Nicolas Cage and John Travolta featuring on what? Face off.
I watched that.
It's a fact. Thank you.
You can take the federal government to court. Then from there
I need federal government to take me to court because they're supposed to have accused and the Kanu that they accused Buhari of being like 7. Abubakar is in charge now. Abubakar from Niger Republic. His father is from Niger. Malam is from Niger, if you don't know. Pantami is from Niger. What are we saying? Nigerians are confused. They always hide the facts. They want to play, oh, I'm a nice man. I don't want to talk anyhow. I don't want to tell lies. I'm not telling lies. It's a fact. Go and meet Malam. Malam is from Niger.
Has been told to resign from the Northern Elders.
You see it?
And they are saying, no, I'm not resigning.
They are accusing the past president, government. You see it? We are just talking as if we were there. Resign because what all the security apparatus of the country has what? Collapsed. It has collapsed. The system has collapsed. Security porosity. Porosity of security in Nigeria is what is worrying not now. No security. With 2 legs, you can trek to Niger Republic. No immigration officer should stop you on the road. Because of what? Now religious bigotry. Because of Islam. There is no international boundary between Chad and Nigeria again. Because of what? Religious bigotry. Religion. It has no geographical what? Demarcation. Because of religion. So we are Christians in the southeast, so we can just from southeast right away navigate freely to the land of Israel without being questioned on the border. It's not possible. We should set religion aside. That's why there is no border there. There is border in Lagos here, Badagry. There is border at Bakassi axis of Cross River State. There is border. I think you understand. But in the north, there is no border. Because of what? Ethnic bigotry and religion. It has finished Nigeria. There is no international border between Cameroon, Adamawa, Taraba, Yobe, Bedugri, and the Chad anymore. From Zamfara, Katsina, you just go into Niger Republic. Because all their forefathers, they are one. In religion, they are one. Ethnic, tribalism, tribes. They cut across the whole north. Because what? They have single language. The most spoken language in Nigeria is Hausa language. The most spoken, popularly spoken. Not even Arabic. Arabic, which is of course the most popular. Do you understand? Hausa is spoken in Burkina Faso, Niger, Chad. If care is not taken, as far as Sudan, Khartoum, they speak Hausa there. So what are we saying? We are senseless. When we come to southern Nigeria, everybody will become professor, doctor. Yes, do your work well. You are a police commissioner. I got my degree, master's degree in Oxford. I'm doing my work in order. Go to North. Nothing is being done in order there. Law has collapsed. Some persons in the North who are occupying most sensitive positions in the high place in the government there, they are all from Niger. If I name them here, let them take me to court. I will expose everybody there. Open the can of worms. Let the whole world see and hear, so that they could reason with us. We're not just talking all in the sake of talking here. We are hitting the nail on the heads. We are hitting the nails on the heads. We don't rant and chant and shout every morning here. Our ranting here is very, very reasonable. Our rantings are cogent and what? Reasonable enough.
Let's go
to be giving ears,
man. Security agents aiding bandits alleged deputy speaker. Security agents aiding bandits. Security agents aiding
bandits did not start yesterday or today, even this week or last week. Security agents, look, if you go to Nigerian dailies, newspaper this morning, I'm talking to you, my brothers in abroad, you will see how many militaries that were arrested. They were arrested because they are aiding the security what's? They are aiding the bandits. Look at them, soldiers, numbering in their hundreds. They are selling arms. They are selling arms. They are selling arms to bandits. The information that was given to the military, I didn't understand. They made good use of it and apprehended all of them. But I want to just shock you. I live in Lagos State here at the axis, Ikeja axis. Oftentimes, I see soldiers at the motor parks. Some of them are not armed. Young boys within me. They are collecting money now from Paraga people. They are drinking Paraga, smoking Igbo and drinking Kai Kai. Then I ask myself, what are these soldiers doing outside the barracks? I was involved one day at Akinwale Street over there. The guy slim, tall, with this camouflage t-shirt and the camouflage shorts, knicker. He was talking. Then I said, Oga, stop saying that thing. This place, this joint, you shouldn't be. You are not supposed to be here. You look at me, I say, you, soldier, I laughed. I say, you are not a soldier. I say, why? I say, because, why? What are you doing outside the barracks? Do you know what it takes to see a soldier outside the barracks? It means something happened. Something serious, whereby the military aid, help is needed. They are there to help civilians in terms of, let's say there is, a natural disaster, God forbid. You see soldiers come, they will come and do their work. You will like them. What are you doing in Baraga, at Baraga joint at this hour? You are telling me you are a soldier, Oga, you are not a soldier. He said, I said, you are not a soldier. Can we? Oh my God. Even if you bring ID card, I won't take it. Because soldier, we have no business to be at Baraga joints. Where they are taking this, what do you call it? Pepper soup. Pepper soup, I mean, is kai kai with pepper. Then they drink them now. Then again, Dogon Yaro. Say, if you want to drink kaka, you will go there and meet those madam. Say, oh, madam, you get us my body, they do me. If you last don't they get fever. Now lie, no fever hold you. He will give you that, what do you call it? Dogon Yaro. Kaka there, when you drink and finish, you go do your body like, now lie, you don't drink. Okay, you have no reason to be here. You are not a soldier. Oftentimes I see them, they are like 2 or 3 on top of bike. They have been mishandling Okada bikers. Okada riders, treating them bad. Inside the parks, you see them there. They are not real soldiers. Look at these ones with camouflage. They were arrested. Because the people that gave this information, they are too sure of what they did. Look at them. Nigerian military, camouflage. And all these are what sneaked out of the barracks. Those clothes. They share it among them. From there, they're operating. Look at them. Soldiers. Fake soldiers. Toy soldiers. Replicas of Nigerian soldiers. You see them, look at all of them. That is how they harass everybody. See, if somebody is owing you in Nigeria, if you want to recover your money, carry soldier, go. Soldier will knock on the door. Hey, come, do you owe this? I said, Oga, are you in the position to recover somebody's money? You are fighting for the creditor. Is that your own what? Duty. If anybody comes into your house and knock, your compound and you open down, you see the person with soldier, 2 of them are thieves. Call police. Make call police, because it is not their own functionalities of the military to arrest, to meddle in the what? Anything like that settlement, you go to the police or court. I didn't understand. It's not the works of the military. It is not their own functionalities. It cannot be. It cannot be. But they are using them all over Lagos. I didn't understand. So now it's got across. You see what is happening in the north. They are selling arms to the bandits. They sneak out from the barracks, all manners of army camouflage. They put it on and pose as Nigerian soldiers. They are impostors. They are the impostors we are talking about. And most of them are from Chad, Niger. Look at their heads. These are not Nigerian. All these faces are not Nigerian faces.
Let's talk about the repented Boko Haram.
Repented Boko Haram. Boko Haram doesn't repent. Oga, a sadist is always a sadist. An act of terrorism is an act of what? Sadism. Arson. Act of arson. Repent for what? That's once you call repented Boko Haram or whatever. They are telling lies. They want to, from there, siphon money. Who is repenting? Boko Haram repent. Boko Haram that kills. So somebody that killed Nigerians, you now call him a repented. From there, you leave him
and put him into the army.
And on getting, okay, wait. Let me just balance what is happening in East and North. Then on getting to Olu State, all those youths that are doing nothing, you sneak, you just go into the village, bring those boys out, you kill all of them. How many of them have you made efforts to what? To give amnesty? Or how do we put it? To rehab them. Send them to rehab so that they will come back to their senses. Abi? Somebody that is fighting for his rights. You are not trying to let him repent. But somebody that is a killer who has been killing Nigerians, innocent souls across northern Nigeria. You are trying to tell me that he has been repented.
And
Repented
Boko?
Boko?
Put them into the army.
No. What they fight, the cause that Boko Haram is fighting is not the cause the Niger Delta militants are fighting. The cause that the youths in Igbo land are fighting, they are what? Doing or acting so in self-defense. They are not fighting against anybody, but they are defending themselves. Every time, over the year, Igbo man has been defending himself. In 1967, the Igbos were defending. Obasanjo and the group, they carry gun, Theophilus Danjuma, with Gowon and Buhari, they were following us. We are doing what? We are defending our land. They can't take our land. We maim and kill them and collected their guns. Igbo man has been defending himself. There was never a time. Igbo man is a warlike man. We are not warlike in nature. We defend because we are warrior. So let me tell you, in defense, we are fighting in the southeast. The cause that the Boko Haram are fighting in the north is Islamization of northern Nigeria, which is on course. Now I'm telling you, the land of the north has been taken over. What happened in Afghanistan is what is going on, thriving so successfully in the northern region of Nigeria. Thank you, Christian.
Thank you very much. That is a wonderful one from Mr. Rafa. This morning, we are coming to the end of Bystanders at a Distance. Thank you very much for being part of the program. I am Christian Chiku. We'll meet here same time, same place tomorrow for another wonderful and exciting edition of the program. Bystanders at the new stands. Bye for now.